What's up, man? What's up, Fresh? It's our turn. Beat up, boo, and put the Gucci suit. Ain't got no bed, but I'm still fine. Gotta go take it, and the mother's it.
You're listening to
Bobby Bones.
All right, let's go. Raymundo, play me this voicemail right here.
What's the difference between a dirty bus stop and a lobster with breast implants? One's a crusty bus station, and the other's a busty crustacean.
Yeah,
That's good, man.
that's
Wow.
good.
Funny.
You got to kind of reverse engineer that one, though, to get it.
Yeah.
Because I have to go back to what was the setup again? A dirty bus stop, which is a crusty bus station, and a lobster with breast implants, which is a busty crustacean. That's funny.
Funny.
A little reverse engineering there. All right, next up.
Bobby Bones. I was just calling to see if the show could wish my daughter Avian a happy 9th birthday. Her birthday is on Monday, April 7th. We love Bobby Bones show. Amy, you are such a role model for my daughter. She also has ADHD. School's been hard. Life's been hard. And we just appreciate the positivity. Bobby, when she started first grade, you sent her a signed copy of your book, Stanley the Dog, on his first day of school. I actually ended up taking it to read when I volunteered to read to the class. They loved it. Would love the show. Would really appreciate it.
Well, happy birthday on Monday to Avian.
Yes, happy birthday, Avian.
That's pretty cool. Her 9th birthday.
Yeah. Happy birthday.
9 is a great year.
Why so?
I don't know, just for kids. They just like, I feel like I was the closest with all my kids at 9. Because they're not too cool. Because like when they turn like 11, they're just like, yeah, I'm too cool to hug dad or whatever. And 9 is like, they're still your little dude.
But they've probably grown enough to where you can experience some of the stuff together.
Yeah. Like, yeah, you know exactly what kind of person they're going to be because their personality is already kind of developed a little bit. I love that age.
Give me the next one, Raymundo.
Hey guys, just FYI, the last cruise we went on, my girlfriend didn't have a passport and they would not let her on the ship. She actually had to fly back home, get her passport, and meet us at the next port. And they almost didn't let her on then because it was inexcusable that she forgot her passport. Anyway, heads up, Eddie.
But she
goodness.
had one. Eddie, you don't even have one.
I don't have one.
So-
Never had one.
You have until next Friday.
Yeah.
To do
to apply and
Yeah,
to like do all that.
to send it off.
Yeah.
That's crazy. She had to fly home.
Well, she could have just not gone on
That's true.
it.
Given
So,
up.
yeah.
Dang.
So you have until next Friday to do all the picture taking.
Okay.
It's a pain in the butt, but unless you have a deadline, you're going to keep kicking the can.
Yeah.
Know what I mean?
I do know exactly what you mean. So I'm going to get that done.
We had some storms a couple days ago. We talked about yesterday. We all ended up in like rooms of our houses because of tornado warnings. This happens about once a year here, and every few years there are bad tornadoes. As I've gotten older, the second day after I miss sleep is always the worst day. It's never the day after because I can run pretty strongly on adrenaline the day after. But second day, regardless, I'm always a little bit hurting, and today I'm a little bit hurting. Have you felt that at all? Have it changed in your life at all, or is it the next day for you?
Oh,
still?
you know, it's the next day for me.
The-
I'm like you.
Okay, so it's
I think
not
that's
the
common.
next day, but it's like that second day.
Correct.
So I did type into ChatGPT my situation. I like to feed it as much information about me as possible so it can diagnose me in whatever way. And ChatGPT says, hey, look, you have brain fog because you didn't sleep well. And so here's what you can do right now. This is for everybody. I think this is a nice little general, I'm not totally up on my P's and Q's, got a little brain fog, things they can do. Number one, drink a big glass of water. Dehydration, the number one factor in brain function. And if you have electrolytes or even a little bit of salt, that is a quick brain boost. But the number one reason for brain fog is dehydration. Number two, stand up and move for 2 to 3 minutes. Literally, just walk around, stretch, shake your arms. Moving wakes up your circulation and signals to your brain, all right, we're alive, let's go. Number three, a 30-second cold splash or face cooling. If you can, go splash cold water on your face or put something cold or even a drink against your neck or forehead. It triggers a mild adrenaline release that can break the fog for just a bit. There's 5 total. Number 4, focus on one tiny task. Pick the smallest task you have, even answering one email, and do just that. Brain fog makes multitasking worse when one small thing, then another. And then finally, eat a small snack, like protein plus a carb. Handful of almonds, piece of fruit, a granola bar. The second reason for brain fog, if dehydration is first, is low blood sugar, which creates a heavier fog. And if you have them together, it's like super heavy fog. And if you've barely eaten and you miss some sleep, this can help. So those are the things it says to do. Now, I haven't really tried those except for the water because I noticed I haven't really had any water in like 3 days. Not like purposeful water.
Dude, you need water.
Now, I mean, I've had water. Like I take a drink here or there. I'm bad about drinking the proper amount of water, and so I don't think I've had like purposeful water where it's like I must drink water to remain hydrated in about 3 days. And we were traveling early on in the week, but same way with showering. When I'm on the road, if I'm not working out, I usually am packed so tight, I just collapse and go back to work the next day. I don't shower for 2 or 3 days if I'm on the road, if I'm not working out. And then I come home, the first thing my wife does is go, you got to take a shower. I'm like, why? She goes, I know you didn't shower. You don't set aside time when you're on the road to shower. I'm like, that's a good point.
Wow. Didn't realize that about you. Because we travel a lot. I didn't realize you weren't showering that whole time.
Yeah, if we're gone and it's just 2-3 days, if I don't shower day of the trip.
Man, I can't start my day without a shower. Like, it's so rare. Unless I'm running real late, I skip my shower. But
I hate hotel showers, though. Like we were staying.
Oh, that's probably more so what it is.
It's very much a part of what it is.
Got it.
Yeah. It's not just that I hate showers. Like I will not make time for a disgusting shower anyway. So I had booked us, me, Eddie, and Reed, near the studio of the Rich Eisen show where I was filling in, and it's right by the airport in Los Angeles. So I booked us the Hyatt LAX, not really knowing what I was doing. I just booked a close one, and that's really where they stick people who get their flight canceled. So it's like, we got to put you in a hotel. It's right next to the airport. And so there were no real two-nighters. We were the odd duck because we were three-nighters. And so it's really not made for – they didn't even clean my room.
Oh, the whole three nights you were there?
Yeah, no, they didn't clean my room one time. And I didn't have a thing on my door. And I'd be like, anybody else's room get cleaned? But they're not –
like, we're not used to long stays.
They're not in a rush because, no long haulers really in the airport hotel. But, yeah, so those are the things that you can do if you want to hopefully get yourself out of brain fog. But I'm day 2. I just got a little bit of it. I was a little worried last night it was going to be similar, but it ended up just being thunderstorms, and then those went away kind of early. We got fortunate because there were parts of the country that had worse weather than we did. Yeah. But you guys, do you have any flooding at your house or anything?
No.
Nah, power out again last night.
From the storms?
Yep.
You paying your bill?
Yeah. So we got our power back yesterday around 2:30, and then at like 7 it went out again for like an hour and a half.
But don't you
awesome,
live in
man.
town? We all live in the...
Yeah. I think a tree had fallen on the wires.
That makes
okay,
sense.
well, that makes sense.
But then they fixed it, and then obviously I guess they didn't fix it well enough because it went back out.
Did I tell you guys I had to call 911 a long time ago?
No.
Oh, yeah, because of the power line or the...
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then I would watch it spark on the fence.
That's pretty cool.
Well, that's scary, though.
Yeah, scary.
I risked my life to go out there.
Yeah, man.
I stayed far from it, but I felt like I was still risking.
True hero.
But I called, and when you hit those numbers, I don't like that feeling.
It's official.
I feel like I'm doing something wrong, even though I know I need to call 911. And they answer, they're like, 911, what's your emergency? And I'm like, there's a power line, and it's on the fence, and it's sparking. And so they were like, great, we'll send someone out immediately. And they block off the entire road with a fire truck because it's a fire hazard. But still, there's something in me that goes, I'm probably going to jail for this. There's no reason to think that, but you're just trained, don't push those numbers your whole life. And then you do, and you're like, oh, God. But like Lunchbox loves 911.
Yeah, 911 is your friend. Like, they are there to help you.
I agree. You see in some of those cities you call, though, and you have to wait like 20 minutes.
What?
What,
Like
for
the
an
big
emergency?
cities. Yeah. Well, there's not enough people to answer the phones.
Oh, that's not good.
And there's all this cutting in government, so there aren't enough
Dang.
people to answer the phone, so you call.
I know, but is there a special code if you're like dying?
I would use that code
Yeah,
even if there
911.
was a power
Right, on the
yes.
fence.
Yeah.
Did you guys get any of those, like another one of those texts that said, like, take shelter again?
Last night?
Yeah, yesterday.
No.
I got one at like 4 p.m. But
I got a flash flood at 4 p.m.
No, I got a tornado warning in your area. Take shelter immediately. But since we already had like 3 of those, I kind of looked at them and be like, we'll
Oh,
see.
no, you blew it off?
You get numb to them.
Wow.
You get numb to them.
That's a weird
We all
feeling.
get numb to all that stuff. Yes.
Because the first one, dude, is like, get up. We're going downstairs and we're going to seek shelter. The 5th one, we're like, we'll see what happens.
We're like, you've already led us astray 4 times.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm not proud that I react the same way, but that's very human of you to do.
Well, so we get those, but now what we do because of the Nashville severe guys, on YouTube, if I get that warning, now then I go to their page, and I know they'll say, if you're here, go to your safe space. If you're here, you're kind of good right now, even though maybe I got a warning on my phone because that's more of a blanket thing. And so I'm thankful for their very detailed, up to date, because then that's my next move. I get the warning and then I go to them. I feel like they're my friends
every city has
now.
like that.
I don't know.
Yeah,
but these
I
guys
hope
are
so.
awesome.
They're
though.
great.
They are, and I think we live in a very storm-rich part of the country. So I would assume that most cities don't have like these guys who just get on YouTube and take donations, and people can keep them running.
Is that how they?
That's how they make money. Is you tip them or you buy their gear.
Oh, I'm donating.
Oh yeah,
My
me
wife
too.
donated too.
I didn't realize
I'm
that.
like, what is she doing?
Dude,
No, you should.
Eddie's not going to donate.
Yeah, I'll do it right now.
I had
If
no
you
idea.
do it now, we'll see. But
I'll
you
do it right now.
claim constantly.
I do for the past like 48 hours. I've been watching them a lot. I
Okay,
need to
answer
pay
me
for
this question though: if we finish this podcast,
Yeah.
and 2 hours from now you're at home and you're by yourself, and you're like, "Oh yeah, I said on the show I was going to donate."
Yes, I would do it.
I don't believe it.
I would donate.
I don't believe it.
These guys are so good.
But we're not arguing that. No one's arguing. It's you we're arguing about.
I know,
because
but
you constantly say you're going to do stuff and you don't.
You don't know that.
Well, I'm just
you don't
glad-
know what I do when you're not there.
Go ahead.
I'm just glad we brought up how they make money because I did not know, and now that I know, I too shall make a contribution.
Are you really going to
because
do it, Amy?
Yes.
But she
Amy
doesn't
always
claim
does.
to do
Amy always
stuff.
does.
That's not true. You don't know what I do and don't do.
But we know what you claim and then what you don't do
You're
after you
basing
claim
this
it.
all on donating a kidney, and it's
And-
not fair.
And bone marrow.
No, I wasn't. I couldn't qualify for that.
No, but we had to remind you 11 months later. You forgot all about it.
True.
Yeah. So that was
forget
my
about
point. Are you
that.
going to forget about it in 2 hours?
Hey, donating $100 to like these severe weather guys is different than donating bone marrow, man. Got to think about that a little bit.
Why? They're both saving lives.
That's true.
Well,
Good
that
point,
is
dude.
true. But these guys, I was about to tell you, these guys are so good that like they'll tell you on their stream like you're about to get another warning here, and like 30 seconds later you get the warning on your phone. They're ahead of
What
those
if they're
guys.
the ones sending out the warning like it's all a trick and they have control of the warnings? They're like, yeah, I got a feeling another warning. All right, type it in, Chris.
Guys, they have merch.
Yeah, my wife bought a shirt.
That's what I just said.
Okay, sorry, I've been on the website trying to read, so I missed that part.
You gonna buy a shirt?
I have I'm gonna kind of a chance
Prepared,
at
not
yesterday. I have 10 conspiracy theories that are weirdly convincing.
Are we really doing this?
Lunchbox asked me today, we're going to do more.
Well, yesterday
conspiracy theories.
yesterday wasn't conspiracy theories. Those were
What were those?
unsolved. Those
Yeah,
were,
that's very, very different.
These are way different.
Yeah,
So I want a chance to
I'm with you.
back this up.
Come on.
I feel like I missed yesterday. Number 10, Disney created the movie Frozen to bury search results about Walt Disney actually being frozen, the person Walt Disney. So the theory is, and I've heard this forever, Walt Disney was rumored to have been cryogenically frozen. And so people would search Disney frozen and they would see all the results and people writing about that rumor.
And now they get Elsa and Anna.
And now some believe Disney made the movie Frozen just so the search results would be way buried, 100 pages deep. You get Elsa and Olaf instead. That's a pretty solid one.
I think it's pretty good.
I don't know if it's true or not. Like it's probably not true, but I think it's an interesting theory. I think it's kind of funny because I had heard him and Ted Williams both had their head in a Frozen.
Yeah. But the Ted Williams one, that's real, right? No.
I don't know.
I think I read that one time and I just believed it and went on with life.
That's how
Yeah.
we do a lot of times, and we get in trouble for doing that. So unless I can see it, and there's so much disinformation out there,
Okay.
one, I'm not going to fight you about it either way. Well, that's an interesting thought, and then I move on with my life. Number 9, Apple slows down old iPhones on purpose. Now, this was a conspiracy theory until it was, because they, I believe, lost a class action lawsuit.
They did.
For this exact thing.
Yep.
So this is the case of one of the conspiracy theories actually being proven true. Not just true, because some of them can be true and we don't know it, but proven true. The theory was Apple intentionally slowed down older iPhones to force people to upgrade. Apple actually admitted to doing this, though they claim it was to preserve battery life, not to sell more phones.
Mm-hmm.
Apple settled a class action lawsuit regarding the allegations of intentionally slowing down older iPhones with a $500 million settlement, which was a nickel to them. That's like me taking this quarter that I have here and
Done.
throwing it on the floor.
Lawsuit covered.
Done. Some recipients in the claim, because you could opt your way in, did get their check for $92.
Wow.
That's what they got.
Did any of you guys do that?
No.
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 Number 8. See, this one's already better. Like, because I'm talking about things you guys already know about.
Yeah.
Yes. Like when you're talking about a boat in the middle of the ocean when no one's on it, it's like, okay, they fell overboard.
Number 8, the government controls the weather.
No, this
No.
is silly. See, you're being silly again.
This is where we're stupid.
The
But-
again.
theory
but
is
tell me more.
the U.S. government has weather manipulation technology that creates and can affect hurricanes, droughts, snowstorms, etc. to control whatever. But that we have proof of, there is cloud seeding technology. So we do know for a fact there are ways to affect the weather. Now, but what we know about and what we don't know about that's true, there's a difference in that. Like I was watching this invention fair on TikTok where they are showing the new technological advances, and there's a fake bird that looked super real. And they're now showing that you can buy one of these birds. If we're now getting them offered to us on the open market, you don't think the government's had these fake birds for 15 years?
Yeah.
Now, I don't think all birds are fake, but you don't think they've been spying with these birds that now we can buy ourselves? So the same thing here. Like, we know for sure some countries do cloud seed because it exists.
What is that? What does that mean, cloud seed?
You put stuff in and make it rain.
Whoa.
Or snow. I just
Yeah.
Googled it because I'd never heard of it ever. And
either.
I'm like, what? People do this?
Yeah.
But why?
Areas that need rain.
Crops?
Oh, well, that makes sense.
So it's a weather.
I thought it was being used for bad.
Yeah, I
it's
did too.
being
I was
used
like-
for good.
No. So they put in a chemical, like
Silver
iodine.
iodide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Iodine.
Throw it up in the clouds?
Yes. And so then what it does is it like promotes crystal formula, then it rain and snow.
Whoa.
But this is just science.
Well, yeah, I didn't know people did this.
It's
know
like
either.
salting streets, right? We know what chemicals work against. We also know what chemicals promote. So
So they take a plane up and they drop it on the clouds?
I think there's probably a couple ways, but that is one
like
of the ways, yes.
cloud dusting.
or send a
Yes.
rocket up there.
Well, they don't have to go that high
yeah.
for clouds. Clouds are not that high.
Yeah, little
I mean,
puffies.
If
I
you're
meant
sending
like
a
a bottle
rocket up
rocket.
to, okay.
I meant like a little firework.
Bottle rocket.
Yeah, that's what I
We're
meant.
wasting a
Good
lot of
pivot.
money if we're
Good
going
pivot.
rockets.
wow.
So that would be why this government controls the weather conspiracy is not as crazy as how Lunchbox reacted to it, because he didn't have knowledge of, there's already on a small level us knowing about what governments can do with clouds. Now, do I believe they're creating hurricanes? No. But we never really know what's going on until at some point it's all released and we know.
But why wouldn't you use that in like warfare? Like
But
hurricane over
You
whoever you're trying to
for
bomb.
sure can. Yeah. I mean, if you have it, you do.
Yeah, but we don't. No, the cloud seeding doesn't cause a hurricane.
No, I'm talking about other weather changing things.
And the difference would be if you are using it and other countries know you have it, they can reveal that you have it if they have the intel to know that you have it. So there's a lot of chess involved.
Dude, my mind is blown right now.
But
Mine too.
my only point was not to say that they're controlling and creating hurricanes, but that is ridiculous. But then you learn about cloud seeding. You're like, oh, well, that's a form of modifying what the weather is. So that's a very small version of that. And that's known. And we always know just a little bit of what's really happening. So it wouldn't be totally crazy if they were able to manipulate the weather in ways that were beneficial.
Yeah.
Who's cloud seeding that we know of? Like, do we know people doing that now?
What do you mean? Do I like Jim?
Like, are we doing it in America? Like, are
Bill
farmers
down the
doing
street.
it? Or
Private companies can do it. Governments do it.
amazing.
They use it to study how ground is affected by weather. Colorado, Nevada, like that side of the country does it. Like the Western United States more so than this is a very surface level understanding of it.
But that's how I feel because I didn't know anything about it.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Okay, so that is number 6. No, number 8, sorry. Number 7, Avril Lavigne was replaced by a lookalike. The theory is Avril Lavigne died in the early 2000s, and her record label hired a lookalike named Melissa to take her place. The evidence is based on handwriting changes, facial differences, and cryptic lyrics. Now, this one I do not believe because I have been around Avril Lavigne. She performed on Dancing with the Stars, and I walked by and went, Melissa. She did not look up. I based it
Good
completely
test.
on that.
Wow.
I didn't yell it, though, but I just went, Melissa.
Did you meet her before 2000?
No.
Okay.
Oh, let me think. No.
Okay,
I think
because that would be a cool test. Like if you met them, like they were, or she was on the show before then, and then you saw her now, and you're like, hey, you remember Bobby Bones show? And
yeah, that'd be tough.
then you'd know.
I think it was Bieber though. I think it may have been both because we were in pop for a long time, and they were like, hey, this new Canadian artist, and I was like, don't have time. It was either Bieber or Avril when they were brand new, but I think it was Bieber.
I feel like it was Bieber.
I do too. I did not think that was true. Number 5, the moon landing was faked. The theory is the U.S. government staged the moon landing in 1969 to beat the Russians in the space race. The response, there's so much response to it. At this point in my life, I'm going to go ahead and go, we got to the moon, but I'm going to say there's probably a lot of footage and crap that we faked to show it.
To win that race?
That's the thing. We can't get there now.
Yeah, that's bizarre.
That's bizarre. We lost the technology that we had that got us there then that can't get us there now.
Even immediately afterwards. Like you say Apollo 11, we landed. Apollo 13, like they can't land.
What were you going to say, Amy?
Oh, it was just like, the technology, like was it like there were equations or certain things written down that like they lost or what? Okay.
Yeah, we lost the technology and the way we did it. But usually then you have smarter people learn things. There's a belt like an asteroid belt we cannot get through.
Yeah, but have you ever done something you're like, I can't figure out how I did it, but I did it.
Cooking all the time.
And then you're like, how did I achieve that? And then you don't really remember because to get there, you probably have to be very precise and exact. So what if they've just been?
But that's like one person.
I know.
Cooking and I can't make this burger exactly the same.
Yeah.
Right.
And years of developing.
I know.
with a lot of
intelligent. So the official here is the specific hardware and expertise for building Apollo-era lunar landers and rockets. That expertise is no longer available. The technology to return to the moon, they say, is not totally lost, but it requires a significant effort to redevelop, because we don't have it, and build upon modern advancements. So it says not a complete loss, but they don't have the expertise. It's all gone. It's just weird.
It is weird.
There's so many weird things. And we were in a race with Russia to prove that we were dominant. And so it happened to happen then. And when things happen to happen at a time where they need to happen, I always feel like it's a little sus. And we still can't get there. We can't get there right now, but we could in 1969. Name one thing we could do in 1969 that we can't do now.
Let me think.
I
Can't think of
don't know, you
anything.
could probably do Woodstock again.
Yeah.
We tried.
Yeah.
Successful and unsuccessful.
True.
Yeah.
So for the sake of not really what I want to latch my wagon to is be the moon conspiracy guy, I do think that they probably faked a lot of stuff when they got there. That's even hard for me to say.
There's that TikTok video too of like Buzz, isn't he acting weird or something?
Yeah, but he's old. He's 107
He's
at
old.
that
Yeah,
point.
you can't really count on that.
But you know what old people do? They don't care.
Or you know what old people do? They get old.
Yeah.
They don't
Say
care or they
things.
don't remember.
Yeah, they just say
Okay, all
things.
those.
Let's do a mid-roll here, Raymundo. All right, next up. Oh, wait, the moon landing. What is your official thought?
I mean, I do think the weirdest part to me is that we don't go back.
I know.
So
That
So
we can't get back. Not that we don't go back.
Right. We don't go back because we can't.
Because
That part is so bizarre to me. But yeah.
Have you ever seen the rocket at the
Yes.
museum? It looks like a
Yes.
tin can.
It's very.
I wouldn't drive that thing to work.
Right. No.
If it had wheels, I remember going to, it's in the Smithsonian maybe?
Or the Air and Space Museum
One of
in
them?
D.C. Yeah.
And I remember going, I'd trust my car to get me to the moon more than I would trust this thing.
Even the lunar thing is like made of foil.
Dude, it's crazy how crappy it looks. And they got in this thing. So they must have been insane. But yes, I think my official stance on the moon landing is we're probably being deceived in some ways because deception was needed to beat the Russians. And in a war, you're using whatever you can.
I know that I've known this answer at some point, but right now I don't have it. Did Russia, China, has anybody else gone to the moon?
That's what I was going to ask.
Yeah, just recently. There was some video of, not people though. No. What do you mean? Like people?
Astronauts. People.
I
don't know.
The last time anybody went to the moon was the 70s.
Okay,
So everybody
other
lost the
people
From
technology.
what I believe. The last time humans walked on the moon was Apollo 17, which took place December 1972.
Okay, so that's
So
American.
who are they?
It's got to be American if it's
That's us.
Apollo.
I know,
right?
but who, like they went. So
Commander Gene Cernan and Lunar Module Pilot Harrison Schmitt walked on the moon while Module Pilot Ronald Evans orbited above.
So we
they
have
did
been
go
back
back.
since '69.
I didn't know that.
See?
Oh yeah,
Boom.
until 72. Yeah,
So then after '72, we lost.
we lost it all.
Okay. Well,
I gotta
it
believe
helps
that.
me to know
Yeah.
that Gene went.
You guys are out of your mind if that influences
Well,
any part of
No, but
decision making.
They went back. Now
Of course,
it's
you
not
can't do it once and then not do it again. If you're going to fake it, you have to keep up with the
you
act.
think they just faked it
You
again?
faked it.
No,
They
if
faked it
they
multiple
faked
times.
it, you can't do it once and be like, I'm done. No, of course.
Okay, but hold on. I want to know your exact thoughts on this.
Okay, I don't have exact thoughts because I don't feel like I'm educated
I want to
enough.
know your.
But I'm going to talk general human. If we're going to fake something, we're not going to fake it once and then be like, well, we can't get back there again. We're going to follow through with the plan, do it a few times to where it's not such a big deal the third and fourth time. It's not such a big news story.
Yeah,
and you can
because-
fade off of it and people won't be like, wait, why did you never do it again?
Okay.
That's what I would do if I were the leader in that situation.
All right.
I'd fake it a few times.
So 72 potentially could be also fake.
If 69 was fake, 72 was fake.
Do we have media of 72? Like pictures,
Yeah.
video?
Where's Gene now?
Like, because all
Yeah,
I
I don't know.
know is the.
Again, not fully educated on all the landings of the moon. Several other countries have put spacecraft on the moon. I talked about even recently. There was one. It was India. It was
India.
India. Yeah, where and it was the worst, like computer video ever.
Yeah.
It looked like Atari from back in the day.
And it was
No humans, but
recent.
yeah. Oh, it was like in the last couple years.
But in 69, we had better footage.
And people, and this was just robotic. The India one was.
Man, this is
You remember the
tough.
India one now?
But I mean-
You think
Yeah,
about
dude.
it.
Guys, think how many people have been motivated and encouraged by one small step.
I
For
hear
me,
you.
you know, like
Especially the Russians, they were encouraged to not F with us because America
go to
is
the-
bigger, faster, stronger.
Yeah, like what does that prove though? Is that we can go to the moon? Like why does that
It
make
proves
them
we have
scared of
technology
us?
that we could bomb the crap out of them and kill all their people. Because if we can get to the moon, we have nuclear weapons that will annihilate their country. That's what that does easily. If I were if I were leading a country and I was in a space race and it was just technology, I'd be like, oh dang, they have way more than we thought. So what else do they have that we don't know?
Man, you guys really do think that it's fake?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, I'm kind of 50-50.
I do think there's some parts of it that, even with the JFK stuff, right? People forever fought that. No, it's still a single shooter. Nobody thinks that now. And almost, I mean, really, nobody. They can't identify who else was involved. Like there were fights about that. But forever, that was this. The JFK conspiracy was there's no chance. It was a single shooter. Everybody needs to relax. But now the fight isn't, was it a single shooter? It was the CIA involved? Was the mob involved? So there you go. History repeats itself in many ways, even within conspiracies. Number 4, the Denver airport is hiding something. Did you guys see the TikTok the other day of the guy that works there underneath?
No. You had video of it?
Sort of. It did show like these crazy tunnels, and I think probably a lot of places have tunnels, but forever we've been told the Denver airport has a secret underground bunker. Now, why do they have that is the question. To me, I would go, there are probably a few places in America that have massive gaping holes for
Protection.
aircraft. Yeah, like if we need to like launch some stuff,
Yeah.
we aren't going to put them in a hangar above the ground.
Correct.
We're going to protect them and put them under the ground. But also, when you have things like that, then people start going, well, the Illuminati, which I'm not a part of. The murals in the airport is imagery that leads people to think that there are hidden. The big Mustang, the big blue Mustang.
Oh, right in the
when
front.
you drive up to it. Like they call that Blucifer.
I thought that was a Bronco.
I think it's a Mustang. Mike, would you search that?
It is a Mustang.
I just figured Denver Broncos, they have a Bronco up there, but okay.
But it's not about the Denver Broncos. It's about
That's
the
a good point.
Mustang.
If you
I just assumed. I never even
and I
looked
think
into
you
it.
could have convinced me, which is how easily convincible we are, because I for sure would have been like, it's a Mustang, and it was, but I'd have been like, oh, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it is a Bronco. But the Denver horse statue, officially named Blue Mustang, commonly known as Blucifer, was commissioned in 1992 and completed in 2008. So many delays. The artist died tragically.
Lucifer.
It was one of these, like, all these tragic things kept happening.
Oh.
But okay, the murals, the horse statue, the underground tunnels, it's very suspicious. But probably what's under there is they're not telling us they're storing a bunch of stuff that we don't know about.
Mm-hmm.
You're right, though. Like, if there's a atomic bomb or something, like, there has to be a place where all the important people go and seek shelter. Like, that has to exist.
So I would say you're talking about, like, our government officials,
Mm-hmm.
and if they know something's coming, where they go. This definitely could be that. I think there are probably 5 or 6 of those around the country, and I think there were probably these billionaires are now building bunkers for this thing specifically. But that could be this. But really, there are a lot of companies that are private companies that do a lot of security that the government can't really do it officially, but the government pays these private companies that they need places to store weapons or places to test these massive things that we're not going to test openly on ground level.
Yeah.
Your thoughts, Amy? By the way, I don't think there's an Illuminati bunker, but I do
My
think...
thoughts are with, like, I think it is possible that there are underground things we don't know about. Sure. But also, when y'all were talking about a Mustang or a Bronco being outside, I thought it was the car y'all were talking about. So.
No, it's a horse.
Okay.
Good point.
But, like, my brain was picturing a blue
I didn't explain
Mustang.
it good enough. You're right. That's
well,
on me.
later you said horse. Like, you said horse statue. So I was like, oh, but then my brain was like, God, that's interesting. Like, y'all know what y'all are talking about. And the whole time I was picturing this bright blue Mustang convertible.
Car.
And I was like an older model or a newer?
Good point. We've just been there so many times. I think we automatically saw it in our heads without explaining it. So
I fly through Denver a lot, but connecting, like, I don't, like, especially to go see my sister, I don't get out, so I don't see that blue horse.
It's a creepy airport.
Yeah.
Is Denver the one with all the groundhogs or the meerkats or something? Like, they have a ton of prairie dogs. Like, when you drive almost by that Mustang, there's just hundreds or maybe thousands of prairie dogs, which they like to build tunnels.
Prairie dog statues or
Yeah,
dogs?
real ones.
Real ones.
Oh,
What?
I don't know.
They're just
Mike,
running
can you
around
see
the
that?
airport.
I see they have them at the zoo in Denver.
By the way, no, don't get in the habit of calling on Mike for fact checks. That's okay. Because everybody's gonna start that. Like, hey, Mike. By the way, would you? Because everybody's gonna start doing it.
Okay.
Hey, Mike. Would
I
you
like that.
Yeah.
Good work, Eddie.
Number 3. I don't know the answer.
Oh,
to
they
that,
are
dude.
a common sight near
What
the
are they?
Denver airport and surrounding areas. They're
Thank you. I'll
present
call
somewhat.
Amy.
Oh, hey, guess what? I called
Amy, will you check that for
No
me?
problem.
that's
I got you. No, I got you. Okay, they're prairie dogs. Sometimes it leads to closures of open spaces due to concerns about plague-infected colonies.
I don't know what you just
I don't
said.
know either.
Was that English?
The prairie dogs spread a plague.
But is that a new? All right. Number 3.
Thank you.
Mattress stores are a money laundering front. The theory is that there are so many mattress stores. Every strip center, there's a mattress store. That some people don't think they actually sell many mattresses, that it's not the mattress companies, but it's people will create a mattress store in order to launder money. They did a study where some cities do have very suspiciously high numbers of mattress stores right next to each other. Remember the coffee shop? And I don't even want to say what city. I don't want to say anything. Next to us that got in trouble for this.
Huh?
Oh. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Never would have thought that was the deal. Mike, do you remember?
I think so.
Yeah.
Huh? I'm good.
Totally. I mean, crazy. Never would have thought. I only know money laundering from watching Ozark.
And Breaking Bad.
Yeah, good point.
Because the car wash. So I guess I'm confused because the car wash, I get how that worked because they were very busy. If you're a mattress store and you're not very busy, how are you washing the money?
I would say that
No, you
you don't have to
be busy.
report busy.
Oh,
So
okay.
There's
I thought you
no-
had to sell things.
you do, but you can fake sell things in cash.
Okay.
That's my assumption. You don't. There's not a report of how much busy you were this month.
So
I'd
like
be the worst money washer ever. 'Cause I'd be
and he's like, we're not even busy.
so that's the point, right? Like, you sell, quote,
You're open all the time. You can claim people came in and paid cash for
Okay,
things.
yeah.
and the cash is yours.
Oh.
and that's
yeah.
what you declare.
Again, this is
I think.
no. Yeah, that would be my guess.
Okay.
But there are way more mattress stores than bought mattresses. So that is why that happened.
Yeah. It's like, that is true. Now I'm going to be looking around for all the stores.
You're going to see a lot now.
Number 2, birds aren't real. This is something I mentioned earlier.
Come on, man.
Oh my gosh.
Now, I don't think anybody thinks that all birds are fake because we see them all the time. But if you guys go on your TikTok and you look at the bird, there is no way you could put that thing in front of me 6 inches, and I'd bet you everything I own that's a real bird.
Is it little?
No.
Oh, it's big bird.
The one that I saw it looks like Vegas when they do the technology show? It's
Yeah,
called,
CES.
CES. Yeah.
I've been there.
It's a show like that. And they were flying around the place.
That's cool.
It looks so real.
This is like Hunger Games.
What do you mean? Oh, just generally like watching, yeah.
Yeah.
Just look up the Bionic bird, which when you look at the Bionic bird, this does look a little computery. But the Bionic bird is just meta. You can just buy. And if the Bionic bird, you can just jump on. Look at the Bionic bird. You get it with your smartphone right now. You would not know by looking into the sky that the Bionic bird wasn't a drone.
I don't know. I'm an avid bird watcher.
But again,
so.
it's just flying over the top. It's not landing in a tree. And this is an easy one to get. So if you look at because again, this is a small little bird flying over. You would never in a million years think that's not a bird. And you just do it from your phone.
It looks kind of fake.
Yeah, it looks really fake.
Up
From
close,
more than
guys,
10 feet
it
away,
looks
you would have
fake,
no idea.
But up in the sky, you wouldn't.
I know the birds around my area.
No.
And I would grab my binoculars immediately if I saw that thing. Like, what is that?
You wouldn't pay attention to it.
What kind of bird is that? And
Right.
you'd be like, oh, that's
and
a
I get my
robot
little
bird.
book out.
So it started as a joke conspiracy. The birds aren't real. These people were being funny because there are real birds, obviously. But if you don't think the government has built these.
I'm looking at one that Russia made. This one looks very real.
It's real. And my point with the Bionic bird was that's so easy to get and so fake that the fake one 25 feet up still looks like it'd be real. And then number 1,
Oh, no.
Chuck E. Cheese reuses pizza slices.
I mean, I believe that.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't believe that?
I would
funny.
do that. But they do. Like if there's a pizza, pepperoni has 3 pieces on it, and bring out a new one, and someone takes it, you take the 3 and you put it on the plate. That's not even a bad one.
It's called being efficient.
I think that's every buffet pizza place.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you throw away the last 3 pieces? You
Right.
put it on the new plate.
Yeah, you do.
The theory, people swear Chuck E. Cheese recycles uneaten pizza because the slices on a single pizza don't always line up the way a normal pizza should. Chuck E. Cheese denies it, but I think every buffet
If it's a
should
buffet,
do
you do that. No, my
Yes.
dad used to have Gaddy Towns. That was what they were. They were buffets. And
Yes.
like that was very common. You're just bringing out the fresh pizza and then you put the other ones.
but
with
not
it.
like on
Not from yesterday.
but not from somebody's plate, right?
No.
Right. Okay.
Correct. Now,
Oh, no.
if I'm just going to be transparent, which I have before, I used to wait tables, and it was recommended to us that if there was an untouched roll, to throw it back into the roll bin
Yeah, I don't like that.
That's
to
terrible.
reheat
Because-
from someone's plate.
No, not the plate. Maybe the basket, but not the plate.
When you say no, are you saying I wasn't told that?
No, you probably were told that, but no, I can't believe you were told that. I mean, I know that you were. But
and did because
you
they
did
were
it?
trying to save. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And so not only would they reuse the rolls, if a roll could be salvaged at all, it was my understanding they would cut around it and then turn that into croutons, the good part of the roll.
Oh, even if there's bite on it.
I mean, but they're cutting around that, and then also when you bake it, you maybe kill off everything
Yeah,
to
you
make the
kill the
croutons. So
germs.
I'm not totally against that.
But if you found out they were doing that though, Amy, you would be upset.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, but what I don't know.
Does and can't hurt you, honestly.
It
'cause
really can. We say it can't.
All
but
this
all
has
those
been
germs.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. You guys like that one a little better than yesterday?
That was
Yeah,
good.
this
I
is
like
better.
that one.
I mean, I just
You like the relatable. You guys like the relatable ones. You don't like to be challenged on learning new things. You like to be challenged on the things you already know.
No, to be clear, I didn't hate yesterday.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
Also, it's okay to hate it.
But
I'm
I
just trying to
didn't.
find what my audience likes here.
yeah.
You know?
Like the cloud seeding today, dude, was so good.
I'm just amazed at how many conspiracy theories you guys believe. Like maybe I just take everything at face value. Like they tell me something, I'm like, all right, cool.
You
So
are
maybe I'm
exactly what they want.
I'm
yeah.
their target audience because I am like, I have never thought, oh man, they're controlling the weather. Oh, they're never in my life.
I don't think that I've ever thought it until it was presented to me, and then I started to read about what I didn't know. So, like, it will challenge me to become more educated in a certain area, and then I will believe it or not believe it. So maybe you're just not interested enough to challenge yourself in reading more about it. That's the answer instead of I just don't think about it, because you won't think about it unless someone presents it to you.
Yeah, it's sort of like you always say documentaries. A conspiracy theory, they're good at giving you the conspiracy theory, so they make you believe it. It's just like a documentary. They present one side of the story, and you're like, oh, man, that's why I'm a bad juror.
I'd be a horrible juror.
I think that's two different things. And there are a couple, that even on this, that are true. Like Apple did slow down iPhones, and forever people were like, stop. That's crazy. I mean, there were a few. JFK is a great example, too, of one that people did what you did. No way. This is just crazy folks. Sometimes the crazy folks are actually the ones that were making the most sense, but because there are so many other crazy things around it, it makes them seem crazy as well.
And they end up dead.
Well, you went somewhere crazy. See, with that.
No, but sometimes they do.
Yeah. Whistleblowers end up dead all the time. Look at the Boeing stuff, dude. Tell me that.
Oh, man.
Tell me.
I don't know anything about it.
We talked about it on the show.
No, I know they've
times.
ended up dead, but I don't know what they were saying. Like, I don't know.
They were blowing the whistle.
Amen.
Amy. I know they were blowing the whistle, but I don't know about what. Like, I have no idea what they were blowing the whistle about.
There are people who had reported
shadiness.
They had reported at times some what they like the neglecting protocols,
shortcuts,
and then those planes ended up having the trouble.
Malfunctions.
Yeah. Oh,
and more than one ended up dead.
Yeah, like the only whistleblower I know is Edward Snowden. I don't even know what he blew the whistle, but he doesn't live in America anymore. He's not allowed back.
Boeing whistleblowers have raised serious safety concerns, including alleged manufacturing shortcuts, defective parts, and a culture where concerns were ignored or retaliated against, particularly regarding the 787 Dreamliner and 737 MAX. So, and then it goes through this guy, Sam.
It's like, I just think of Morgan's chair over here. Like Morgan trying to put together Sharon Eddie. But it'd be like you're putting together these chairs. They're supposed to be good. But it's like, well, you put the bolt in the wrong place. Like, no big deal. But it's like,
are you blowing the whistle on us?
Well, I guess we were doing a lot of them and selling them, and people were flying them.
Yes, but I mean, it's like, this is a contraption that goes up in the air. And it like our lives are at stake. And they're acting like, we don't want to spend more money on some, I don't know. It's just crazy to me how people make decisions.
In 2024, two Boeing whistleblowers, John Barnett and Joshua Dean, died, with Barnett's death ruled a suicide and Dean's death occurring from a sudden severe infection. A former Boeing employee who raised safety concerns and sued the company, that's John Barnett, alleged retaliation. He was found dead. Police did rule this suicide. And then Joshua Dean, a former quality auditor at Spirit Aerosystems, a Boeing supplier, raised concerns. He died from a sudden, fast-spreading infection.
Oh, fast-spreading, huh?
Sudden.
See, but...
Oh, now you believe it?
No, I believe that they kill people.
Who's they?
Whistleblowers get killed. I get it.
Okay.
Like,
but this is a
that.
conspiracy that it literally could have been two people that just died randomly that happened to be
right. It could be a big
something.
coincidence,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't be surprised if
I
they
don't
killed
know
whistleblowers.
who makes
But
that decision.
To kill?
Yeah.
I know.
Like, because if you think about it, maybe
But we don't know someone's made the decision. I want to say this just for the record.
Just in case.
All of this is
Allegedly.
us just like talking about stuff, speculating.
Yeah, man.
There is no truth to anything that we're saying. This is us reading stuff. I'm just covering my butt here. Reading news reports, Googling it. Boom. Go ahead, Amy.
I don't know. Now I'm thinking about some show I was watching the other day, and I can't remember what it was, but it's kind
probably a
of
good
similar.
thing.
That'll get you in trouble, though, when you start basing
Yeah,
shows.
Because I don't want to make it. Oh, it's on Apple, and the girl, she lost her memory. I don't want to say too much. Bobby, did you recommend it?
boy, don't.
I wouldn't even talk about it if you don't know it. I wouldn't talk about it if you do know it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm probably not going to talk about that. But it's like sometimes someone swoops in and makes the decision, and it's not the person that's high up that you think would be in charge of making that decision. They didn't. Someone else did, but it's like, we don't need it to get back to them because they don't need to have this on their plate. They don't need to worry about it. It'd be like Mike D being like, Bobby,
I'm sure
I'm
Mike D does it all the time. It's not about killing people.
So it doesn't get to you, you know?
I have to watch 4 episodes of White Lotus to catch up before the finale on Sunday. I'm not going to say much more about the show. I watched one last night before I went to bed. I watched it on my iPad. I'm just trying to catch so I can watch the finale with my wife. Are they done after the season, or are they
I hope
going to
not.
continue making them?
I think they'll still go.
They are.
Yeah.
So they announced, though, that they're done after 2 more seasons of The People That Live in the Ground that's on Apple. Morgan, what's that show called?
Silo.
Silo. They did announce they're going to do 2 more seasons of that. They're going to stop it. Did they do an announcement on Severance? Because I know they're going to do another season, but I guess have they announced the ending of it?
They said another season. Haven't said if that's the last one or not.
Whereas Silo is based on a book. So there's only so much they can do until they go post-book. Because Game of Thrones kind of did that. Game of Thrones ran out of book, right?
He's still writing them.
Because he's still alive, and they're like, finish the freaking books.
He's like,
But
"Yeah,
they
I'll
had
get
to
to
like
it."
create their own outside of the book.
Prequels and all that.
Yeah, I don't really like that. I think we should limit our stuff. Let's. I get it. We're in the preservative. That's what we are. We're a preservative country in our food and our shows. Like make the most money you can. Keep it just living, but it kills the quality of it a lot of times.
You know what I found out about White Lotus?
I don't want to know. Do I?
It's not about the show.
Okay.
It's about the dad.
On what season? And it don't say.
It's the latest.
Okay.
The dad, Parker Posey's husband.
Okay.
He's not American.
Protect me. Okay.
That blew my mind.
Got it.
I think it's amazing that somebody can take on a role where you have to speak like an American, like a Southern dude from North Carolina, and nail it.
I could probably do 10 of those right now that you'd have your mind blown by then.
Yeah, I'm sure.
The Walking Dead guy,
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about him, the main guy.
the sheriff.
Yeah, because I think he's like Australian or British. They're all Australian or British for the most part. If
They're
they're
just so
doing an American
talented.
accent, the guy, the Billions guy,
Yeah, he was so good.
Margot Robbie.
What?
You ever heard her talk?
She's American. What are you talking about? Margot Robbie's not American.
What is she in? I don't even know what she's in.
She's Barbie.
Wolf of Wall Street.
Colin Farrell,
Yeah, no, that's.
but he's
crazy.
like Penguin.
Yeah.
He did the show that was on Apple that was really good. Where he was like the cop.
He's a Crazy Heart. Like he's like a country singer in Crazy Heart, which is really fun to see.
I never saw that.
You ever seen Crazy Heart? Oh, you
What is
interviewed
that?
T-Bone Burnett.
I know.
He did the music for Crazy Heart.
I'm familiar with the music, but
great-
I never watched the movie.
Great movie.
Yeah, there's a lot of those where you're like, dang. And then you don't see a lot of Americans trying other accents though.
Right.
I know. I was thinking, like, do you think shows that are popular over in British, they're like, blew my mind. They're American.
Or like, do you think the British actor's like, oh, yes, I got an American role. I can nail this.
They probably grew up with so much American culture that it's easier for them to do an American
Yes.
accent than it is us. We don't grow up with a lot of British, unless it's Peppa Pig. We don't really have that like injected into our veins.
Yeah.
I think nowadays more the younger generation might because it's more accessible.
I think if you're watching television though, and you're a kid, you're seeing most of what your country provides you. But we're the culture hub for the Western world. So
That's a good point.
So even now, and then they're getting, if the biggest thing in America's for sure gotten over there, we might not get the biggest thing in Australia until a couple of years. We might not get the biggest thing in Britain for a bit, but they're for sure getting the biggest thing in America.
Yeah.
Because for now, we're the culture hub. Robert Pattinson is one.
Oh, really?
Is he American?
Didn't
He's
know
not
he
American.
was not American.
Yeah, he's British, I believe.
God, that's crazy, man.
Christian Bale.
No.
Where's he from, Mike? Christian Bale can't be America.
He is Welsh.
So basically, like,
Whoa. Okay, I guess I have heard him talk like in interviews. Dude, the Margot Robbie one blew my mind.
that's still the lead in the clubhouse?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's Barbie, right?
Yeah.
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 Okay. I think we're good. Thank you, everybody. Redeem myself today with my list. I won't do another one Monday, though. Don't worry. Oh, I got a good one, though. It's only a top 5, though.
You love these.
I got to get. Well, I tell you one that we're going to put out probably next week on the Bobbycast. We did a list, and I came up with the top 10 people that we consider villains that deserve a second look, that maybe they weren't bad. It's pretty good.
Pretty good.
I'm not going to lie. It's pretty good.
Okay.
And we'll probably put that out next week. I think today is
Like
it
villains in society.
both. So I'll tell you where it started. Real life people and fake people.
Okay.
It started with Thanos. That was my complete inspiration.
Yeah.
Where if they shot the Avengers from Thanos' point of view, he would have been a good guy. And they would have been the parasites trying to save the world, because his planet, not that he was a good guy in every way,
It's interesting.
but that he was trying to save Earth. And to save Earth, he has to kill half the people or Earth is going to die. So that was basically so he looks like the bad guy because he's trying to kill everybody, or at least half the people. And you don't want, it started with that. And I've had that fight 100 times and I don't even care, right? I do care. But
I was going to say, yes,
But-
you do.
not to invest a whole bunch of time in it
So
anymore.
dumb.
You know where I stand on that. You know where I stand on Home Alone. You know where I stand on all this crap. So with that, I did so many people of fiction and nonfiction. One of them, I think, pretty eye-opening to Eddie. I'm not going to say what it was, but I think his mind was kind of blown.
I'd agree with that.
Thank you. And
Like Margot Robbie blown.
Yeah, maybe even more. Maybe more.
Somebody that we for sure are like bad person. Today on the Bobbycast, though, we have Amanda Knox.
Yep.
Is it up already?
Yep.
If you go search Bobbycast, you can listen to my interview with Amanda Knox, who I think we all looked at as it's bad person, murderer. And then now when you see the evidence, you're like, oh man, we were just a victim of media manipulation, but not even our own. Like we were taking media from over there and letting it affect us. But that's on the Bobbycast. All right, you guys have a great weekend.